Welcome to Whispers of Wisdom, where we explore the intersection of spirituality, psychology, and personal growth. I'm your host, Carrie Bandel, the owner of Sacred Whisper Studio. And today we're launching a special 4-part series on narcissistic personality disorder. This subject can trigger strong emotions, so I invite you to approach this episode with an open heart and gentle self-care. It is such a strong topic of late, from world leaders to your own household possibly exhibiting signs of NPD. I thought we should shed some light on it. Over the next 4 weeks, we'll move from understanding NPD to recognizing patterns, exploring healing strategies, and finally establishing empowered boundaries. Today, we focus on compassionate understanding. So take a deep, cleansing breath and let's dig in. Let's start with what narcissistic personality disorder actually is. Beyond the popular use of the term narcissist as an insult, NPD is a complex psychological condition characterized by a pattern of grandiosity, constant need for admiration, and lack of empathy. It is a mental disorder. While there are some brain structural and functional differences observed in individuals with NPD compared to those without, it's not yet established whether these differences are the primary cause of the disorder or a result of it. While childhood trauma is a significant factor, it's not the sole cause of NPD. Genetics, environmental influences, and early childhood experiences can all play a role. Clinically, someone with NPD may demonstrate an inflated sense of their own importance, preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success or power, belief that they're special and unique, a requirement for excessive admiration, sense of entitlement, exploitative behavior in relationships, inability to recognize others' feelings, frequent envy, and arrogant attitudes. But beneath this exterior often lies profound insecurity and fragility. The grandiosity serves as armor protecting a wounded inner core. From a spiritual viewpoint, narcissism reflects a soul experiencing extreme disconnection from themselves, from others, and from universal love. The excessive focus on self isn't true self love, but rather compensation for its absence. Many spiritual traditions teach that our greatest challenges offer our greatest growth. Encounters with narcissistic patterns, whether in ourselves or others, invite us to examine our boundaries, our self worth, and our capacity for compassion without self sacrifice. Energy workers often note that those with NPD have blockages in both the heart chakra, limiting empathy, and the solar plexus chakra, which creating insatiable needs for power and control. These energy patterns typically form in early childhood when the developing self was wounded. Speaking of childhood, psychological research suggests narcissistic patterns often develop from attachment injuries, and this might include excessive admiration without authentic connection, conditional love based on achievements or appearance, absence of emotional attunement, being treated as an extension of a parent rather than an individual, and childhood trauma or neglect. The child learns that their authentic self is insufficient and develops a false self that secures attention and validation. Over time, this false self becomes their primary identity, with their true self buried deep within. Understanding this can help us view narcissistic behavior through a lens of compassion rather than judgment, while still maintaining healthy boundaries. Relationships with someone who has NPD can be profoundly disorienting. You might experience love bombing followed by devaluation, gaslighting, which is a form of emotional abuse where someone manipulates another person into doubting their own sanity, reality, or perceptions. It's a tactic used to gain control. I believe it's likely they're not consciously doing this because occasionally they do not possess the intellect to devise such a tactic. After a while, it makes you question your perceptions, memory, emotions, even your sanity. It leaves you with a sense that the relationship revolves entirely around the other person's needs. If you're in such a relationship, please know that the confusion and pain you feel are valid, and the mixed messages, inconsistency, and lack of empathy are real challenges, not imagined ones. From a spiritual perspective, these relationships often appear in our lives to help us develop stronger boundaries, deeper trust, and the courage to value ourselves even when others don't. They frequently mirror dynamics from our childhood that need healing. So let's go on a healing journey. Over the next 3 weeks, we'll be exploring the following. Week 2, we'll identify the specific cycles, manipulation tactics, and red flags that characterize narcissistic relationships. Week 3, we'll discuss practical techniques for emotional healing, energetic protection, and reclaiming your power. Week 4, we'll explore how to transform this challenging experience into profound spiritual growth through boundary work and self love practices. As we conclude this first part, remember that compassion doesn't mean accepting harmful behavior. It means understanding that beneath difficult behaviors lies suffering while still taking steps to protect your own well being. I want you to know something important. Your pain is valid, your experience is real. Most importantly, you are so much more than what happened to you. Whether you're dealing with NPD yourself or navigating a relationship affected by it, I hope this exploration has offered both understanding and practical wisdom. Join us next week for part 2, Recognizing the Patterns, NPD Relationships, and Dynamics. Until then, may you walk with both compassion and healthy boundaries. And thank you for listening today. If you found this helpful, go check out my website where you can learn a bit more about me and sign up for weekly email topics which relate to this podcast and the link to the podcasts. Also, please share this with someone who might benefit and consider supporting the show by liking, commenting, or subscribing. Be well, beautiful souls. Let's move towards healing.